All right. Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Hey, this is going to be a lunchtime chat. See who's checking in here with us. Come on in and we'll discuss things. I wanted to bring up the Alex Jones situation here on the YouTube and interwebs. Basically, the coordinated attack on one platform, I guess you'd say, and their how that's all going down. Some of my commentary, I guess. Whoa. I guess I would just start with what did we expect, right? Did anybody expect it not to go this way? Did anybody think that they were going to let things like that go unchecked if once they could control the narrative, which is what it's all about? Get to adjust this a little bit. Hopefully. Is that Walter checking in with us? Hey, Walter, what's up? Good afternoon. Whoa, I think I'm a volume. Oh, I forgot. Can you guys hear me now? But this Alex Jones thing with all the different channels coordinating or platforms coordinating to take him out is a good test run to see how they're going to do it, see people's reaction. I think people just need to continue to march. It's not the right thing. I don't think they did the right thing, you know, or whatnot, but I don't think that we didn't expect anything different either. Hey, Christine, what's up? Can't understand me. Well, I'm working on it. I'll try to alternate in between. I'm trying to use the mic to keep it out of the wind. I'm not sure if that's going to help me or not. Maybe I should just plan to put on the doors on the Jeep on days like this. But it's summertime. That wouldn't be no fun. It's definitely smoky here. So, and that's okay. Walter Davis brings up a good point. Talking about moving to platforms, other platforms. And I talked about this back when YouTube was doing the whole monetization, checking accounts and stuff. It's not the same. The reason you're on YouTube is because it's the biggest, most searchable, easiest maneuverable platform you can get on. It's the only place where you're going to be where you're going to be able to outreach to people who don't know you or don't you know, have a common, that don't have interest. If they don't have your common interest, they're not going to find you anywhere else. The only way you're going to be able to go to another platform and somebody find you if they're already interested, they're already kind of involved, you know, your crowd follows you, I guess, to a certain extent. And Alex Jones won't have a problem with that. He's got an internet site and everything else. But like I said in that video, if people are on here to pass a discussion, a message, things like that, stay on here and do it. I mean, if they're going to kick us out, they're going to close the doors on us, let them do that. Don't do it ourselves. Don't diminish our own message, you know, because, you know, maybe we should just sit here and, you know, I was thinking about it, like, you know, people are kind of backtracking from Alex Jones now, it seems like. Not everybody, but a lot of people are like, ah, well, he said things that he shouldn't have said. You know, he was this. Man, if it wasn't for Alex Jones, would anybody know who Bilderberg was? Would people know about Bohemian Grove, or even like those things that were, I mean, you're talking about early 2000s, late 90s even. He was bringing up stuff that nobody else was talking about, you know, before YouTube, obviously. But when he came over to YouTube, he brought those things with him and brought that out more into the open. And like all this rabbit trail stuff, like you look at the pedophilia issue, and he was talking about the ties of the elite and stuff like that. way before and brought it over to YouTube, and to just discount the effect you can have on here and say, I'll just go somewhere else, is kind of not seeing it for what it truly is. It is a monopoly. It is a, you know, it's kind of like not having cell service. If I didn't have cell service, you wouldn't be able to hardly get anything out. Having his own little website, it's not, you know, he's already been able to build something there. But for everybody else, for the rest of us, we can hang here and talk conspiracy and everything else. We can talk about Bilderberg and talk about the things that, you know, promote the things that we talked about previously, but you talked about it on the Alex Jones channel or whatever other, you know, who's going to be next to be banned, right? Twitter's banned a bunch of libertarian accounts. Anarchy Ball got banned. I think it's temporary, but still, like, there's tons of accounts like that all they do is put out libertarian stuff, like straight economics, political philosophy. They don't even get into, well, you know, those kids didn't really die or whatever. They don't even get into that side of things. Like, there's some serious silencing of the masses going on that shutting ourselves up isn't going to help anything. All we can either do is get louder, find a different way to get louder. You know, you can't go off to some little place in a little corner and talk to yourself and talk amongst ourselves. That's not the answer, I don't think. We need to be on here talking bigger and badder. Hey, who are the ones running the show with the pedophilia and the other transgender wackos, transformers, and everything else that are buying into this and being easily manipulated, and they're using that stuff to control the shadow government and everything else? I mean, we can get all kinds of sideways. I don't really go into that in my channel. I kind of listen to some of them, take it and be like, okay, well, let's evaluate this. But, you know, we can't just roam off because one big channel got shut down and put out the pasture, if you will, on here, you know? And it seems like a lot of people are accepting that for what it is and just wanting to go away. It's like, and we could, you know, you push back, and if all of us left YouTube, like, how many subscribers did Alex Jones have? Did he even have 1 million yet? I don't think he was in the millions. Like, if all his subscribers left YouTube, what would be the effect on YouTube, right? I don't know that it would have effect. I mean, there's channels with 200 million subscribers. Like, how many people have like YouTube accounts? 500 million? I don't know. Is it billion yet? It's gonna be like McDonald's, you know? It's gonna be like McDonald's, 20 billion served or whatever. Let me go into the comments here a little bit, see what I'm missing. Yeah, okay, I agree. I agree, Walter. Jeeps, having the doors on a Jeep in summer is against the code of ethics. Yeah, exactly. Right. Unless you're somewhere where it rains a lot. If you're in the deep south, I could see, or even where you've been, Walter, it's raining a little bit much to have them on all summer. Hey, Mule Team, what's up? You done 2 videos 2 days in a row, Mule. Surprising everybody. Guess I'm caught up. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Yes! Mule Team's on my vibe. Mule will start the dragon back up. We'll be fired up in no time. Christine used to read InfoWars. You're not a video person. Well, thanks for checking in. Well, I don't exactly give the most pleasing video presentation either. So, but I don't do any green screen or anything either. So it's not fake. You know, it's real. I might have to get me a green screen though, huh? I don't know. Smoking Locust with us. How you doing? Right, and that's exactly the point too, Walter. Is like, how many things has Alex Jones talked about, been called crazy, been called conspiracy theorists, and it's been proven true year after year. You know, like, oh, guess what? Bilderberg is a deep, deep conspiracy. It's been around for a long time that people just didn't know about because the regular media doesn't cover it because it's part of the bigger control grid, is what we would call it, or the shadow government, or whatever. Wake up, Canuck. Hey, how you doing? You're sure AJ had 1 million? Okay. They said Alex had 2.4 million. Okay, Saints and Sappers. That's a good number, right? How many does PewDiePie have? You know? But again, if those 2.4 million left of YouTube, what would be the ultimate effect? Wouldn't it be better for those 2.4 million channels that are on YouTube to make their own videos and to talk about the same things that he talked about? Wouldn't that be a better effect? And that's what I would say, is that would be a better effect than to just abandon YouTube and be like, hey, we're going on our, we're going to just go to InfoWars website all the time and, listen to him there. Is that really what is needed? And I don't think that's the answer. The answer is to be out here where everybody can it's a public square. YouTube is like the public square nowadays in a lot of respects, just like Twitter and Facebook and all these other, Instagram or whatever, whoever else banned Alex Jones, They and them are out to get us. Well, yeah, they are, Walter, aren't they? The thing is, they don't know it. They're not like deliberately out to get you. They're just following and progressing the statist central government. Coat Travels. Hey, how you doing? What's this channel about? This channel's about whatever I bring up. We're kind of focused on prepping and stuff. You can kind of read the about section on the channel. But we talk about all kinds of stuff, do a lot of politics, a lot of news, a lot of prepping for the collapse of whether it's the government, police, state, economy, whatever. We kind of just make it up as we go along. If it's rainy, use the bikini top, says Walter. Okay. Wild C, how you doing? All kinds of people. Everybody saw Alex Jones in the headline. Everybody showed up, I guess. Major health risk and not just for frogs. All right. Mule is Thursday. Good for you. Mule, I can be there. It'd be late. Just like, it's my schedule. If it's before dark, I probably won't be able to be there till after dark my time. So, 2000, it'd have to be after 2000 my time. It's kind of the way it works on most days. Unless it's raining or something. Coat Travels, I'm not necessarily against Alex Jones, like I was just saying. I don't think people going away is the answer. HRM, how you doing? Did they explain that? I heard about that deep space radio transmission, but I didn't hear anybody talk about what was going on. So somebody said on TV it's an alien warp drive. And how did they explain that? That's kind of, was it in layman's term enough to where anybody could actually understand it? And Mule, with Tony working different shifts and stuff, the big deal is you need to get Reb back in the chats. He's abandoned all hope, I think. Yes, M-Law, the piggy channel is here too. You also get to look at the pigs, so that's that's always an option. If you don't like the prepping stuff, or you don't like the politics, there's always the piggies you can look at. You got a little bit of everything. Late night chats are best for me, Mule. Based Mom, good afternoon. How you doing? Glad this is probably a short lunch chat, but I already kind of made my biggest proclamation. If you want to watch the rewind here, we've been going for half the time already. But a lot of people have been saying it. Well, I've seen a lot of YouTube channels saying it too, and it's good, I think. It's been like, if you got something to say, get out there, make your own videos and put it out there. Granted, you may not get the most views, but it's out there, it's in the public square, it's shareable, it's viewable, it's searchable. Get it out there. The more voices, the better in a lot of respects. I don't think anybody's ever held it against another channel for getting out there and putting out a video. Make VRs. A good way to get people to watch your stuff is just watch a video, on a big channel, make a VR, put that link into their comment in that video, and that'll get you people will come over and watch your stuff, you know. At least listen briefly to what you have to rant about, you know. Don't limit yourself. Yeah, did your husband get home okay there, Base Mom? I know he was up in Portland. Hope everything worked out for him good. Right, HRM, continue to engage the enemy. Right, this is the forward edge of the battle area for a lot of us. Oh man, that wind. It was either I had to trade it off. I could be in the wind or be in the sun, and I wanted to make sure the phone didn't overheat. So we're in the shade with the breeze. But who else got? I mean, I saw that Anarchy Ball was banned on Twitter. Who else got banned that I've missed? I mean, you still got the political commentary guys. Mark Dice is still on there, I think. Ben Shapiro didn't go anywhere. Like a lot of the channels didn't go anywhere. It's just like this is a test case. It seems like almost to see how much outrage it'll create or how many people they will get to acquiesce or how much pushback they'll get, or is it a legal test case maybe they want to put out there to see if legally somebody will push back or if there'll be any issues with that. You know, you just never know. He was all over the live streams. Oh, that's cool. So I probably saw him then. He had a Pepe on his helmet. Well, I may have saw more than one of those. That's pretty cool though. Yeah, it looks like I had a good time up there. It went off without incident for them for the most part, except for I saw some of the after effects. People got attacked in parking lots and stuff, but during the rally itself, it went off. It looked like. Wake up, Connect. You think Mark? Wake up, Canuck. You think Mark Dice is next? Well, I mean, that's the kind of channel. Somebody like that has even. I mean, Alex Jones has had lawyers for years, so he's well versed and had lawyers to help him out for a long time. Mark Dice probably not so much. He's had some book deals and stuff, but he's not been entrenched in some other issues like Alex has in the past. So if Mark Dice got taken out, he wouldn't have much legal and money to support a legal fight necessarily. But there's always deep pocket friends that might be back there to help you out. You never know. And that's really, it's all about your network and who you know more than what you can do yourself in a lot of ways. Christine, Anarchy Ball used to get in some weird arguments. So actually, I'm kind of surprised it took so long. but Anarchy Ball would never say, well, maybe, I don't know. I don't know who runs that account. It's obviously somebody heavily involved because they put out a lot of content. It may even be multiple people. But it's not right. It's not right when you look at terms of service and what the terms of service say for these accounts for YouTube, Twitter. And that's another thing that's not been addressed, or it's been addressed on the margins of certain people, but not by the mainstream, of course. But the terms of service weren't violated, but they do have in the terms of service that they can remove service. So they can arbitrarily remove you, yes, and that's what it is, arbitrary removal. There's no violation of their terms of service when you compare it to some of the gross violations that happen on many channels, and they still kick it around. You know, when the Logan Paul thing, for an example. But there's pedophile channels on YouTube. There's things that verge on, you know, porn and everything else on here that don't get touched. You know, it's not about it's about the message being presented. That's obvious. Not about what was actually said as being wrong or anything. Hey, Scotsman's joined us. What's going on? And we're just doing a brief rundown on the Alex Jones thing here during lunch, which I still have to finish yet. Smolo, Pete Santilli is still up and running. Is he? Man, I haven't seen Pete Santilli in a long time. I don't know that I ever subscribed to him either, though. But yeah, I guess I didn't, or I would have seen his stuff more often. So Saints says that they took down 34,000 vids on the InfoWars channel. 34,000, daggum. I thought 700 was a lot. I've got like 1,000 total that I've made, but I took a bunch down back during the confrontational days. But 34,000, man. Didn't know they had that much stuff up. Yes, Walter, they're being very restrictive, selective. It's obviously targeted selection. There have been a couple anecdotal stories where, I guess you would say, left-wing accounts were banned as well. I think on Facebook and Twitter primarily. I haven't heard of any on YouTube. Whose videos was that based? You talking about Alex Jones or Santilli? That was the last person we talked about. Wake Up Canuck wonders if Metallica, Judas Priest, Kiss, etc. go after YouTube as their whole catalog is up for grabs. See, I don't know, because like, and there's other musical performers. There's the small-time musical performers who the musical rights is still yours. You just don't have a right to the video. Like the video belongs to YouTube. So I don't think they can propagate it as their music, but you hold the rights to the music, but you don't hold the rights to the video. I think that's the way that worked. Which is interesting though. Those bigger videos, like the professionally produced stuff that was around long before YouTube, that got uploaded to YouTube, I don't know how the rights for that stuff works. We might have a brush fire going here, folks. I'm watching this smoke. Let me turn you guys around. This chat just might got interesting as I'm sitting here down by the river. That is up by the dump. Let me turn you guys around. That's up by the dump. Maybe the dump caught on fire, where the central processing facility is. That doesn't look like a small fire either. But it's black, which tells me it's not just brush fire. It's up that being near the dump up there could be waste products and whatnot. It's in that area that there's a couple train features between here and there, but that's a pretty big fire. Not good. Who else we got? Oh, Bikes and Bullets has joined us. What's up, Bikes? We're now looking at a possible wildfire. Just like there's not one enough going on around here. We've still got smoke from everything else going on around us. Thanks for joining us live, though. When someone, as Christine says, when somebody reports an account as being the one who's reported, weighted. Right. You know, that's a big question. If somebody reports somebody or, flags them, how investigative do they get into that thing? The thing is, Christine, also, is there's people hired by YouTube and Google to just search videos and just ban them, outright, flag them internally. They search for terms and stuff internally to flag things. And I think it's more likely that these channels are done from the internal to Google than external people flagging them. Although the left wing is known to really go out and flag ridiculous stuff just to give you a hassle and to go out there and just to get videos taken down for even a short period, prevents them from being propagated and talked about for a longer period of time. Walter Davis says it's pretty crazy. YouTube will monetize a butt washing video, but pull gun videos. They're looking to grow a bigger audience of asses. That's about the size of it. Somebody starting an old Detroit diesel engine? That's a little bit big for a diesel engine. And it's not stopping either, like they got it running good. But that whole flagging issue, I always often wondered about that. This random people flagging things just because they don't like the content. Rolling through, just click, 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 click on a channel or on multiple channels. Like, how much do they really investigate that? Do they just take people's word for it? Be like, oh yeah, let's, silence this or flag it for a temporary time and then look into it, or do they look into it first? Because obviously there can be a big effort by political factions to really get after certain groups just because of what they're saying, not because it's actually offensive or actually degrading to anybody. It's just they don't like the discussion. They don't believe in discussion. But yeah, pushing out all silence. The opposition before November, says Saints and Sappers. And that's somebody, I saw an article, I think, that talked about that, or maybe mentioned that, hey, it's 3 months before the election. This is a good way to try to win the midterms. I mean, maybe. But again, it goes back to what I said before. If 2 million people that were subscribed to Alex Jones went out and made YouTube videos on their own, how much more would that fill the vacuum? Probably. I think that would fill the vacuum, especially if they were covering their local, because it's a midterm, it's a congressional thing. If you're covering just a couple of videos on your local stuff, on your local state stuff, on who's running, what they're doing, what their problems are, what their background is, any of that stuff, you know, it would be just as effective as Alex Jones covered it from a national level. You'd get more information out. It may not be as wide a spread, but you would get more targeted information out for sure if those 2 million accounts went out and just started making videos. Yeah, we're not sure what it is, Bikes. It just started as I was sitting here and I turned around the video just as you checked in. It's down by the dam, or I'm sorry, by the landfill, and I hear the fire engines now rolling. So it's not a controlled burn, Bikes, I don't think. Well, Christine, it's only oversaturation of making the same content. But if all these channels made content about their local issues or discussion topics, you know, like we talked about, especially if they're concerned about midterm elections, everybody just focus about their congressional district. You're not diluting the message. It's many varied messages. You know, you can jump into that, DZ, if you want to, Saints. I'm not jumping in. You might be on your own on that one. Yeah, it sounds like. So you figure if that got in a garbage pit, that shouldn't take out too long, because it's pretty much got plenty of cleared out dead space around it, so it shouldn't spread unless the sparks carried over from the wind, which it's not too terribly windy. As you can see, the smoke's pretty much drifting up. It happens on occasion. I think most of the time when the dump gets on fire, it's from chemicals mixing together. Or something like a battery popping or something. All right, folks. Been a good chat. Thanks for joining. You want to watch rewind the video, you should be able to here in a short bit after it processes. But basically, my line is like, don't back away from YouTube just because they banned Alex Jones. Do something to push out and propagate the message more. You know, make your own videos, share different videos from other channels or whatever that are on the same topic. You can't give up the public battleground, because the likelihood of any of these people going to InfoWars and looking at a link you post from InfoWars, like for that type of stuff, is pretty slim. But if somebody sees it's a YouTube link, they're more like, okay, it's on YouTube, they trust it, you know, etc. There's just a little bit, you know, it's just a little bit of nuance that in the psychology of people, if they're more familiar with the popular site YouTube, okay, they'll go check it out. But you give them some side thing, they look at InfoWars, like, I'm not going there. But if you get more channels putting out similar messages, you know. Bike says, I'm viewing the Alex Jones thing as a psyop. It really has nothing to do with AJ as much as it has to do with implanting the idea that it can be done to people like AJ, right? Well, I was also mentioning earlier that maybe it's a test case for him to see how much pushback they get, how much do they, if they take it to court, what kind of ground do they have legally to stand on. Obviously, Alex has a lot of lawyers he can bring to bear, but yeah, Smolo, yeah, it's probably the dump. It's in that. There's nothing else basically between me and here, but the dump. There's a gravel pit, I think, so it could be something. But as big as it is, as long as it's going, it looks more like at the dump area. You are the resistance. Yeah, that's what he says, right? And it's true. If the people aren't speaking out, it doesn't mean much. So that's the lunch, folks. Thanks for checking in. Thought I'd address it a little bit. I haven't been able to talk much about it. I don't usually, especially Alex Jones. I mean, I watch some of his stuff, but I really like David Knight. I mean, ever since Bundy Ranch, David Knight was on point. You know, he was there and he did some really good reporting. So I liked his stuff ever since. But I haven't really paid much attention to the channel and whatnot, just depending on the subject that comes out. They did a lot of the Bundy reporting, so I did watch some of that, but this is what it is. Can't watch everybody. I like a lot of the small time YouTubers better, just to get the on the ground perspective in a lot of things. And really the small subject matter on how to prep and be ready and survive is more important in a lot of respects than this big picture stuff that, like Mule was talking about earlier in his video. People, it doesn't affect people. It doesn't affect me. I'm not going to talk about, you know, the bigger picture stuff if it doesn't, right? So really, that's a lot of the channels I watch is about the, you know, hey, just get ready, pack your bags. Not the James Yeager pack your bags, but you know, having your kit set up and ready to use, and just different ideas and different ways to maintain that stuff, and just sharing common interests. But y'all have a good day. We'll talk to you later. Live free.